This is Copper 90, and these are the top 10 players to play for Liverpool and Everton. Kicking things off at 10 is Don Hutchison. Famous these days for his furious emoji use on Twitter, the man known by teammates and fans as Budweiser was once a mercurial attacking midfielder with a lovely passing range and an eye for goal. Why the nickname? Well, he was on holiday with the Liverpool Spice Boys in 1994 and placed a Budweiser label over a part of his anatomy, which was then printed in the Sunday papers. This led to Liverpool selling him to West Ham, and 4 years later he followed Howard Kendall from Sheffield United to Everton, where he became a cult hero during his 2-season spell. In at 9 is your man Sander Westerveld. Liverpool have had some bad keepers over the years, haven't they? Westerveld actually started off alright, performing admirably after taking over from David James in the 1999-2000 season, and then becoming a key component as Liverpool won the treble the following season. Yet after an absolute howler against Bolton at the beginning of his third term with the Reds, Gerard Houllier signed Jersey Dudek and Chris Kirkland, and that was it. In 2006, with Everton suffering a goalkeeping crisis, Sander made a 28-day emergency move from Portsmouth, making 2 appearances before sliding off into obscurity. At 8, it's David Burrows. Back before the internet was invented and football wasn't really on the telly that much, players used to pop up on things like record breakers to compete in various challenges. David Burrows, a one-pace left-back who Kenny Dalglish signed from West Brom in 1998, would nearly always win the hardest shot challenge. Accuracy wasn't really his thing, except for on October the 20th, 1991, when he scored an absolute screamer in front of the Kop against Everton. 3 years later, he pitched up at Goodison, but only made 19 appearances in 6 months before being sent to Coventry. At 7, it's Abel Xavier. After you finish this, search for Abel Xavier Portugal 2000 to watch a man with dyed blonde hair and beard lose his mind after giving away a penalty in the Euro 2000 semi-final. It's very funny. Evertonians weren't laughing though, when in 2002 the club decided to sell Xavier for £750,000 to Liverpool halfway through the season, bolstering their rivals' challenge for the Champions League qualification in the process and weakening their own squad. In at 6 is David Johnson. In 1971, not long after his debut for Everton, striker Johnson scored in his first derby for the Toffees, with Bill Shankly so impressed by his performance that he tried to sign him. Everton were having none of it, but after the club suffered difficulties off the pitch, he left for Ipswich in 1972 before finally joining Liverpool in 1976. A hard-working centre-forward, he won 5 league titles and 3 European Cups with Liverpool, and in 1982 became the first man to score for both clubs in a Merseyside derby, before eventually rejoining Everton that same year for £100,000. Crunching in at number 5 is Steve McMahon. The archetypal 80s hard man who would have happily tackled a brick wall. McMahon could also play a bit, and there are still Evertonians who can't believe that the man who had been a ball boy at Goodison was allowed to leave for Aston Villa in 1983 after over 100 appearances. If his 2 seasons in the Midlands were unspectacular, he then made up for it when he returned to Merseyside, becoming the heartbeat of Liverpool after the departure of Graham Souness and winning 2 league and FA Cup doubles. At 4, it's Nicky Barty. In July 2000, little Nicky Barty became the first player in 41 years to move to Liverpool directly from Everton. Coming off the back of a successful season from a personal perspective, the effervescent Barty infuriated Everton fans with the move and was given hell in the subsequent derby games. Despite being a valuable member of the squad, as Liverpool won the FA, League and UEFA Cups, his spell at Anfield was injury hit and he was off to Leeds after just 2 seasons. In at 3 is Gary Ablett. The only player to win the FA Cup with both clubs, the Liverpool-born defender remains loved by both sets of fans. He spent his junior years at Anfield and after breaking through in 1985 was used at left back and centre half by Kenny Dalglish before being bizarrely sold by Graham Souness in 1992 when he decided to disassemble the squad Dalglish left behind. First choice for Everton for the majority of his time across the park, he also coached at both clubs before his untimely death from non-Hodgkin lymphoma in 2012. At number 2, it's Kevin Sheedy. Although Liverpool turned down the chance to sign Wayne Rooney when he was a schoolboy, the real one that got away was Kevin Sheedy. The owner of one of the finest left pegs ever seen on these shores, Sheedy managed only 3 competitive games for Liverpool before joining Everton in 1982 and becoming one of the stars of that brilliant team. He scored 97 goals in 357 games for the Blues, winning 2 league titles, 1 FA Cup and 1 Cup Winners' Cup, and lighting up Goodison with his regal style of play. And at number 1 is Peter Beardsley. He might not have looked like your archetypal footballer, but Beardsley has a fair shout of being England's greatest ever number 10. Even today, it still rankles with Liverpool fans that after 4 incredible seasons at Anfield, Graham Souness essentially replaced him with Dean Saunders and flogged him to Everton for £1 million. He scored 32 in 95 for Everton before returning to Newcastle, and despite Liverpool fans singing what a waste of talent when he returned to Anfield wearing blue, he is equally revered by both sets of fans. That was Copper 90's top 10 players to play for Liverpool and Everton. If you think we've missed anything, leave a comment below and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Copper 90.